Welcome to Ultimate Survival Gear. Today, as you guys can see, I have something from Ecco yet again. Let's open up the box and see what we got, because they're brand new. Yes, fresh on the market. BIOM Hybrid 4, and yes, these are GORE-TEX waterproof. Check this out. Look how cool these look. So to be clear, some places, wherever, depending on where you're finding, some places list them as hiking shoes, some places list them as golf shoes. Really doesn't matter at the end of the day, whatever you are getting them for. What matters is, are they really good? And they are pretty good. The only thing that if you don't have time to watch the whole review, the only thing I want to tell you kind of right off the bat, they do run on the bigger side, okay? And usually that's the experience in my experience with European brands. They do run a little bit on the bigger side most of the times, and this is the same with these. All right, not a big deal, but once you figure out the sizing, they are very comfortable overall. Fairly lightweight, although a little bit on the heavier side for shoes. We will talk about in detail later. I do like the outsole. It could have been a little bit better, but overall, the comfort, the lacing system, pretty good. I am overall impressed. But let's get into the main review. As some of you already know, this review is not just any regular kind of review. This review is specifically from Ultimate Survival shoes. Okay? Yes, I have finally decided to create Ultimate Survival shoes section because it's not everything boots on my channel. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, if this was the shoes that you were wearing, hell, maybe you put them on and went to play some golf. Who knows? Yes, why not? Check this out. They're stylish. Actually, they do have in white quite a few options. So if you are getting them for golf, you're probably gonna appreciate white a little bit fancier, because you know, golf and everything. All right. And something bad happened. Imagine you're out there playing golf, you're shooting the ball, and you can't hit the damn hole, and you're like all stressed out, and something bad happens. Now there's a war, natural disaster, pandemic, I don't know, one country decided to invade another country. I don't know, I'm not speaking from experience, I'm just, trying to imagine impossible things in this world, right? Yeah. And you were wearing these, and you had to survive. You had to leave the golf immediately. You had to walk, you had to run to the safety, you had to fight on the way. Fight off the invaders. Yes, maybe you picked up a gun and now you're going and doing this freaking Counter-Strike, or I don't freaking know. Use your imagination. Would these be good for your survival? How do we make the judgment? We make the judgment based on 8 different criteria. Let's finally begin the freaking review already. Criteria number 1, comfort level. And in order to assess the comfort level of all the boots and shoes that I review on this channel, I do a 3-mile run non-stop, and then a 5-mile walk right after non-stop, and then I continue wearing the shoes for the rest of the day, so that the total wear time is 8 hours. And by the way, I do it for everything: the boots, the shoes, the sneakers, the whatever, okay? Everything. The only thing I'm not gonna do it for running is the climbing shoes, because climbing shoes are specifically for climbing, and I would not probably use them as Ultimate Survival shoes anyway, but a whole different conversation. So, like I said, I do like the comfort level. Once you figure out the sizing, I do love the comfort level. And there are a few things that contribute to that comfort level. Let's start with the first one, is the weight. And I do have my scale. This is size 10. Like I said, they're a little bit on the heavier side. I'm thinking about 12 and a half, 13. Let's see if I am correct. Holy cow, I was way off. It's 15.8. Let me move it up a little bit so you can see it. 15.8. Yes, definitely on the heavier side. Now, overall, whenever I'm talking about numbers, whenever it comes to weight, I always say, if you're looking for something lightweight, try to find something under 20 ounce. The more under 20 ounce it is, the lighter it's going to be. The more over 20 ounce, now you get into that heavyweight category. Well, as you see, 15, still not bad, but 20 ounce is for the boots, for at least mid-sized boots, and this is a shoe. So for the shoe, you probably want to try to find something between 10 and 15, and it's just a little bit over 15, so it is definitely on the heavier side, which is mostly because of the outsole, but we will talk about the outsole later. Let's get into the flexibility of the outsole. This is another thing that contributes to the comfort level, and here, As you can see, even though the outsole is very bulky, it is very nicely flexible and actually flexible in the correct spot. As you can see, the creasing here at the top, this material is super soft, durable, very durable, but very soft at the same time. So whenever you're walking, or if you're bending your knee, or if you're, I don't know what you're doing, maybe you're freaking Colin Kaepernick and you decide to bend your knee for a national anthem or something like that, I don't know, very comfortable, okay, very comfortable regardless, which I don't approve of, by the way. Let's get into the inner sole. Let's take out the inner sole, and I'm gonna talk about that if I can figure out how to freaking take it out. Hopefully it's removable. Yes, there it is, it's removable. Now, inner sole. Okay, could have been a little bit better, okay? It's very thin, there is not much cushioning. So if you do prefer cushioning, you might be a little bit disappointed with this inner sole. As you can see, it's very thin, it's thinner than usual, and there's practically no cushioning. Not only that there is no cushioning, as you can see, there is really, heel bed is, yeah, it looks like there is, but I mean, it's practically freaking useless, and there is really not much arch support. Well, there's no arch support. I mean, it looks like there's arch support, but no, it's not really arch support. So could have been better inner sole. Once you take out the inner sole, you still have another cushiony layer. So both combined, you do have a decent amount of cushioning in the inner sole and the midsole, but I think it could have been overall a little bit better. Now, as you can see, you probably noticed the extra width everywhere, okay? So yes, they do run a little bit on the wider side, so if you have wider feet, you're gonna appreciate this a little bit more. The toe box overall is kind of roomy, so if you like that, you're gonna appreciate it. Now, speaking of the padding, as you can see, there's not much padding in the tongue, not much padding in the shaft or the heel, and throughout the whole shoe, there is really no padding here at the front at all. But because this material, this fabric, is very kind of soft feel to it, it's very comfortable overall, surprisingly. Honestly, when I took it out of the box, I was like, nah, that's not gonna feel good. But once you're wearing it, it actually feels pretty good. Okay, let's finish up with the comfort level. Let's move on to the proofing and protection. Yes, these are GORE-TEX. As you can see, there's a nice stamp over here into the fabric. Haven't seen one done like that just yet, but yes, these are GORE-TEX GTX waterproofing, fancy waterproofing technology, quality waterproofing technology. I mean, you can talk to any more or less experienced hiker, outdoor enthusiast, whoever, climber, mountain biker, whoever cares about anything outdoors and they want their feet dry, they will say GORE-TEX. All right, so GORE-TEX is a good proven technology, and I'm glad Ecco decided to implement it here in their golf shoes. So if you are on a wet field, don't worry about it, your feet are nicely protected. The only thing is that there's not much clearance for the waterproofing, but I mean, this is shoes, so what do you expect? Let's see. So we got about 3.5 inches of waterproofing clearance, and as you can see, the tongue is gusseted, but the gusseting is just a little bit lower. It's just about 3 inches of the clearance in the gusseting. So gusseting is a little bit lower than the actual shaft, which I think Ecco could have done better, could have done the same, give it the same distance and clearance for the waterproofing. And let's move on to the protection, okay? So protection wise, like I said, this fabric is very nice, very durable. You don't really have much protection per se in a toe box. This is very soft, all right? So don't drop your golf club on your whatever toe. You definitely don't smash yourself with the golf club by mistake in the toe, because you're gonna feel it. Well, don't smash yourself anywhere with a golf club for that matter, but you're gonna feel it. Obviously no protection in the ankles, this is wide open. The heel is kind of reinforced, but still pretty soft. The most of the protection that you are getting is from the bottom, from the outsole. Look at this fancy color rainbow outsole, but you do have decent amount of protection from the outsole, so you can walk around the golf field without worrying that it's gonna whatever. But we'll talk about the outsole later in the review. Let's move on to the criteria number 3, quality and the design features. Quality wise, Ecco, I've noticed that I mean, people who are subscribed to my channel, thank you guys for being the subscribers. And so far, people like Ecco quite a lot. I mean, it's a good brand. It's a European brand, and so far, what I've reviewed from them, they haven't been particularly amazing, but they do have some things that are, you're like, holy cow, how come no other brand thought about that? So sometimes they actually hit that just that spot perfectly. And I think in this shoe, it's the fabric that they used for the shoe itself. I think this is very practical, it's very smart, very easy to clean, very easy to maintain, and it's durable, and honestly, I like it. I wish that there was something like this in hiking shoes department. But overall, quality-wise, you can see the reviews on Ecco shoes that they're pretty good. On these particular ones, there's not any reviews just yet. They are brand new on Amazon. By the way, the Amazon link is in the description below if you want to check it out. Let's move on to the design features. Here, usually I talk about the lacing system. And honestly, when I took it out of the box, I thought that this lacing system is going to be a disappointment, but I was wrong, big time. The reason why I thought it was disappointment is because they're thin, flat strings. I don't like those, and here they're extra flat and extra thin. I hate those. But surprisingly, this lacing system actually works very well in these shoes. They tighten very nicely, very proportional. It's very easy to tighten them up, to put them on and take them off, which is great. I mean, not just for golfing, but for ultimate survival as well, if you need to put them on very quickly. So overall, I do like the features, all right, the lacing system of these shoes. Let's move on to the criteria number 4 now, outsole, traction and stability. So this outsole, I mean, I tested it on plenty of different things. Obviously, one of them would be dry grass and wet grass, which is what you would encounter on your golf field. But I also put them through the sand, through the rocky road, just a variety of different surfaces. And I do like this outsole overall pretty good. It is quite slippery on marble and tile, so flat shiny surfaces is quite slippery. But on wet grass, dry grass, very, very good. You have great amount of aggression. These grooves are super sharp, super aggressive, and this rubber, the outsole rubber, is very tough. So whenever you have the combination of tough rubber and sharp aggressive edges, you have overall pretty crazy aggression. But at the same time, as you can see, they're pretty flat, so they don't create any kind of uncomfort. And on the sandy surfaces, you don't really dig in, pick up mud or anything like that. So overall, pretty good outsole. The only complaint that I have about this outsole is just there's a little bit too much stuff going on here, and I think it is unnecessary. And I noticed that to be the case with a lot of Ecco shoes. They just put a lot of stuff. Like, for example, their hiking, I think it was BIOM something too. They had unnecessarily extended heel. Here it's a little bit extended, but it's just a little bit too bulky unnecessarily, in my opinion. This right here, I do not get the purpose of this at all on this side and on this side. In fact, I think this is what adds most of the weight here in the shoe. Overall, outsole is just way too bulky, in my opinion, and there is really no need for it, especially whenever it comes to freaking golfing. If you're just buying these shoes for golfing, this is way too much unnecessary stuff going on. Like, I could cut probably at least 40% of this outsole, make it 40% less lower profile. It would save up on the weight and it would maintain the same aggression and everything like that. Another thing that I would mention, a little bit of a complaint, is that there's a little bit too much of nothingness going on in between the grooves. Now, the grooves are great, but all of this nothingness is just too shiny, it is too flat, it is too slippery. So, which means if you do put your foot on something without engaging the front or the back, just the middle, you're gonna slip and slide on this part like crazy. Okay, hopefully you can keep that in mind and be useful. But let's move on to the criteria number 5, temperature. These are nice and cool in the summer. You don't overheat, no problems there. Pointless to talk about winter, but if it's just a little golfing in the winter here in Florida, you which doesn't even count like winter, but you're gonna appreciate it anyway. So temperature wise, pretty good for the purpose that they're supposed to serve. Let's move on to the criteria number 6, sizing. Okay, like I said, they do run a little bit too big, probably about It will at least half a size bigger, but I would say probably the whole size bigger than your normal whatever. So if you are wearing size 10, you probably want to start with 9.5, and you might even be going down to 9 to get your correct size, okay? Because they do run on the bigger size, but keep one thing in mind. I have personally seen that happen. Sometimes the shoes come out on the market. Obviously, there are people like myself, they do reviews, they complain about the sizing. Obviously, there are people that buy them and complain on Amazon, on whatever, wherever they bought the shoes. And manufacturers, I've seen them adjust the sizes. So maybe at this point of after I've done the review, however many time have passed, can't freaking talk English today, maybe Ecco already adjusted the sizing, so now they are true to the size. I don't know, just saying, so that you don't buy a size smaller and you're like, this is freaking small, what the hell, man, this guy doesn't know anything. So keep that in mind, possible. Let's move on to the criteria number 7, balance of application. Okay, so if this is just a regular golf shoe and you're getting specifically for golf, I think it's really good. I do like the GORE-TEX. It's waterproof on the wet grass, on the golf course. Definitely helpful. The outsole is excellent for the grass, for the golf course. Again, wet grass, dry grass, you're gonna be just fine. The overall material is very durable, gonna be very easy to clean. Even if you get the white shoes, this fabric, I mean, it's gonna be so easy to maintain. You're always gonna look decent, you're gonna look presentable and classy like you're supposed to on the golf course. All right, so this is not going to be a letdown, and overall very comfortable shoes as long as you get them in the right size. Yes, a little bit on the heavier side, yes, you could have saved some weight, but overall that's fine. I mean, most of the people not going to notice the difference because really, 15 is not that bad at all. 15 ounce, that is. And the very last criterion here, criterion number 8, the price. Now, the price. Okay, this is where we get into some gray area. $200. Holy freaking cow, that's like a punch in the face from Mike Tyson. $200. Okay, to be fair, $199. Okay, yes, definitely on the pricier side. There's a lot of options out there for $200. Holy cow, there's a lot of options. Do these particular shoes justify the $200? Not really, but keep in mind these are brand new on the market, so they're gonna go down in price. There's a lot of stuff in that price range. Yes, GORE-TEX definitely adds to the whatever, to the cost. It's a pretty expensive waterproofing technology. It's worth it though. The GORE-TEX is worth it. However, I would say, to me personally, considering that there's GORE-TEX, there's everything, I would say about $140, $150 would have been a fair price. $200 is a little bit on the pricier side, but like I said, these are brand new on the market, they might go down. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about this review? What do you think about these shoes? If you found this review useful, please consider subscribing to this channel, and if you have any requests for reviews, drop them in the comments below. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. This was Ultimate Survival Gear. I'll see you guys in the next video.